My Biche, August 4th, 2021. My apartment these days is, as I mentioned before, very like a monk's cell. It is all white, white paneled walls, white tiled floor, the unrelieved blankness broken only by the stairs and curving banister of warm wood that leads to the bedroom. I have no adornment on the walls other than a few beautiful maps hung in my writing room. My life these days is utterly simple, and you can see that simplicity reflected in my surroundings. I have a bed upstairs covered in a thin quilt, a desk, a few chairs, and a sawhorse kitchen table that holds my supply of plain food. A few weeks ago, Marie brought over 2 red rugs. I placed one under my writing desk and one in front of the pellet stove. It is there, on the rug in front of the fireplace, that I perform my daily stretches, yoga and plyometrics to move the blood. It is a hermetic, even austere lifestyle that marks this particular cycle of creation. As I fast from the larger world, my days are punctuated by simple pleasures, long walks, sunny days, sprinting up hills, taking the time to cook myself something nice, soaking in the icy river that flows just steps from my door. This does not mean that I am free from desire. Indeed, it feels that in these times of solitude and inwardness, my cravings for being held, nurtured, and cared for are amplified to a degree that feels sometimes unbearable. This book, the one you now hold, has become a very precious outlet of expression for me, a claiming of my spiritual space. This book we hold between us is my lover, my illicit secret that I sink into gratefully after the rigors of the day. It is a place where my writing can be fully, wholly mine. This little journal, the recounting of my inner life, is my ring of secrets within the larger ring of secrets in which I live. No one knows I am writing this alongside the other projects that are coming through me. That other project, the book I am writing with Marie, will go into the world, and I have come to accept that I will be largely invisible within it. I understand this. But this book, the one we hold together, reader, this one is mine. It is here in this secret missive that I can bring forward the points of light that sustain me in these periods of retreat and solitude. These points of light are beautiful and remote. I have learned, for now, to let them be enough. Archangel Michael brought me one last night. As I slept, he guided me into a message so sweet that when I awoke from it, I broke into sobs. Holding me, he led me deep into a forest. I walked through groves of silent trees and eventually came across a clearing. Within the clearing, in the exact center, stood a peaceful, grazing doe. He told me that with this deer, Biche in French, he can show me the deepest essence of my nature. The doe is gentle and beautiful, wild, graceful, and strong. My inner doe lives at my very heart, protected by 2 fierce totems, the puma and the eagle. Most people feel the puma, the eagle, but the doe only emerges when it feels entirely, unequivocally safe. When I feel threatened, the puma or the eagle will spring forward, and my inner doe flees back into the dark recesses of this forest. It is, however, my doe, my residing biche, that offers me the most peace. So often in the past, it was not safe to inhabit the doe aspect of myself. My inner doe, when she emerged, was hunted, assumed to be weak, and treated as prey. She was no sooner seen than hunted, denigrated, and violated. And so she retreated to a dark and unfathomable place deep within me, where for some time not even I could access her. Archangel Michael, in his infinite patience, is helping me coax her back out into the open. He shows me how to create the barriers that keep her safe when she emerges. He is letting me know that he sees me, he loves me, and that it is possible for me to inhabit my deepest nature and still remain safe. Biche, I learned, is also a term of endearment in French. My Biche, Archangel Michael said, so tenderly. When I awoke, my body still held the lingering feeling of that tenderness. I broke down, sobbing suddenly and stormily into my pillow. Anyone who has experienced the solitude of creation knows the ache of loneliness that comes with it. It is from beginning to end an act of faith. I know that these creations must come from that place of gentleness and trust, from that deepest place, that center of my being. These creations must be drawn like water from a well that extends down, down into my innermost ring of secrets. There, the water is sweetest, is purest. There, it is life giving. But this also means exposing my innermost self. It means standing like the doe undefended in an open field. Archangel Michael is showing me how to trust this. Little by little, he coaxes me from the deepest glades of my being. Bit by bit, he helps me shine like the golden deer, like the luminescent, graceful, wild Biche. As he draws me forward, so too come forth the desires that dwell in that deepest glade of my being. I know now that I want deeply, desperately, dearly something that seems right now impossible. I want to meet Archangel Michael in the flesh, in the form of an actual, physical, manifested man. I can almost feel him. He is a man so solid, so certain, so self-sufficient, so comfortable with himself that he will not be threatened by my seasons of inwardness or my cycles of creation. He is the one who will not try to tame my inner Biche, but will delight in her and hold her in devotion and gentleness. I understand that this will take, as the friend said in my dream, a very special man. So we shall see, reader, what comes of this particular desire. I know, however, after having felt the love of Archangel Michael, that I can settle for nothing less.